Hey guys, welcome to a brand new Slaying Shade. If you are new to the Slaying Shades, it's just me doing a pretty bad eye makeup look while I talk about my opinions on brands, big influencers, owners of brands, that kind of thing. Now, this is just my opinion. If you are a fan of JERROD BLANDINO and you're a fan of Too Faced Cosmetics, that's cool. This is just how I feel. I'm going to be talking mostly about him, but we're also going to talk about the brand as well. Nobody else is, so we might as well throw them a bone. So far I went in with the Pro Filter foundation from Fenty, and I went into... I have like this little box I carry everything down here with. And I went into the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. My thing is still all messed up. Let me see if I could like bring myself in a little bit here. Okay, so I went in with those and I set with the Slay All Day from JERROD Cosmetics. I'm going to put some powder on. Today I'm going to dip into blood sugar. I haven't used it in like quite some time, so I thought this would be a good video to do it with. And I think I'm going to dive into like some of these purples and maybe even some reds. I'm not sure. I'm going to try. Maybe I'll end up liking it as much as I did the last look if I pay attention more. So, okay, so we're going to talk about... We are going to talk about JERROD, and there's a lot to this because I wanted to do a Slaying Shade on him back whenever he shaded Tarte Cosmetics, but I mean, I was kind of waiting because he seemed to be like one of those people that's like pretty problematic, and after I saw that ridiculous picture of him and John Kuckian, I was like, well, something's going to happen with this guy, you know? And just right off the bat, I think that he is just totally unaware of reality. I think that he lacks any type of humility, compassion, empathy. I am not a fan. I never was, you know. But lately, things have gotten just a little bit worse. Now, let me fix my mirror here. I know that the table moves a little whenever I grab my brushes, so I'm going to try to put them down by me. And I have my brush for highlighting, so that's good. Okay, so JERROD BLANDINO, he is, sorry, this keeps moving. He is the co-founder of Too Faced Cosmetics, and he had recently sold, I think it was maybe like 2 years ago, sold the company to Estee Lauder for like $1 billion, like absolutely like insane. So he's got a lot of money, you know. And the thing about the brand itself, now I have one Too Faced Cosmetics product, and it is the Too Faced Glitter Glue. I had given away my other little palettes I had and stuff. I gave them away to like my cousins and nieces and stuff because I just never reached for them. I never did. I was just never really into them. So, you know, it reminds me, like, when I think of the brand, it seriously reminds me of, like, scratch and sniff, like, stickers, because it's just so lame. I understand, the whole, trying to be cute with the packaging and stuff, but some of, like, the OG Too Faced, fans, you know, we're older now, and like, we don't want a palette that smells. We don't want a palette that has unicorns all over it. We don't want a palette that has your dog on it. You know what I mean? Just, give me a break. So that's the one thing about the brand. And I think that since it has been sold, now I have friends that are like ride or die for Too Faced. They buy like the same palette once they run out or like it gets old, you know. And it's not like I haven't used Too Faced before, but we're talking about kind of back in the day. And, you know, recently I feel like the quality has gone down since being sold to Estee Lauder. And JERROD is still the creative director of the company, which says a lot because it's very not creative. It's just like little kids makeup. It's something that I would see and be like, oh, I could get this for my niece to play with. That's just how I feel. I just I don't know. It's just that there's nothing calling me about this brand, you know? And it's kind of weird because I honestly have not seen like a rave review of a Too Faced Cosmetics product like in a long time, unless it's like Jackie Aina or somebody that's affiliated with Too Faced, or Nicole Concilio, because, you know, she gives everything like a great review. So, not to be shady, but she totally does. So, I mean, it can't just be me that feels this way about Too Faced, because, I mean, just nobody's really talking about them. Now, when I first started watching YouTube videos, I would see a lot of people using like the Born This Way foundation, you know, like they were into it still, and you know, I get it. I used to have that foundation, but I don't anymore. When it got old, it got kind of watery, and so I just, you know, tossed it, obviously. So the first kind of drama that I heard with JERROD was when Jeffree Star called him out for his shading of Tarte Cosmetics, acting like Too Faced was the one that invented unicorns. So it was kind of ridiculous, and it made me feel like, okay, you are like a billionaire, right? Like, why are you sitting on the internet trying to shade other brands? Are you that insecure about yourself? That's kind of like the feeling that it gave me. And after that, we had Jeffree talking about Too Faced. We had Tati like denouncing Too Faced. We had JERROD's sister. I don't know what she does. I guess that's just her relevancy, is that she is his sister. And she was going online, like talking shit, you know, and she said that she loved John Cuckian. So she's a huge Cuckian supporter, and it makes sense because that's likely how JERROD ended up meeting John, was because of the sister. So I'm sorry, but anybody that's like affiliated with John Cuckian and thinks that he's like some great person and somebody that you should like network with or just be around at like a party, no. Like, then there's something wrong with you. Sometimes you are the company you keep, you know? Now, he kind of acted like he didn't really know who John was. So, who knows? I'm sure that the sister invited him to some event, and then John, you know, tried to play it off like, oh, I was invited because, oh, they like love my cosmetics, or tried to allude to some kind of collaboration that was never going to happen. So yeah, so JERROD having a type of affiliation with John was pretty gross to me. And when called out for it, he does what he always does. He distances himself and blames other people. Oh, I didn't even know who he was. He just wanted a picture with me, you know. So aside from shading brands, recently, just the other day, he had posted a picture of himself and his partner with a birthday cake that said all lives or that said rich lives matter. How like detached from society are you to think that that is cute or funny or whatever, you know? And it bothers me because I don't like anything that makes a mockery out of a movement, and a movement that's important, especially to me and a lot of people around, you know? People would say, oh, blue lives matter, you know? Well, Black Lives Matter isn't saying only Black Lives Matter. It's saying Black Lives Matter too. You need to be aware of what's going on in our communities, in our schools, in our, you know, everything that's going on between the police, you know. It's to bring awareness to those things. So, and it's a damn good movement. I know there's always a couple of bad apples in every type of big group of people, but it's an important movement. And for it to just be reduced to this like fucking joke on a cake, no. I was disgusted, absolutely disgusted by it. Some people really didn't care. Some people thought it was just a joke and it was like super funny and whatever. But, you know, making a mockery out of something like that just isn't funny to me. I'm sorry. I'm just like not that girl. I just don't think it's that funny. So he, you know, his response was so typical. So he is like, it was a surprise party. Somebody made this cake. They brought it with them. I had no idea. And he described where the cake was at in the picture, almost trying to be like, you can barely see the cake, or it wasn't about the cake. Well, you could have cropped out the damn cake if you didn't want people to see it, because he definitely did. He's standing there with like the cheesiest smile that his plastic surgery will allow him to have. Like, it's funny, and it's not funny. So him distancing himself from it really bothered me a lot, because there's never an apology where somebody can just be like, you know what, this was in poor taste. I'm sorry. I'm not, this does not reflect who I am as a person. It always has to be, but somebody else brought it. But I didn't know about it. But I'm not this kind of person. Like, once you say but with something, it's usually taking away that apology, And I just don't get it. I don't know, like, I don't know. It's just so disgusting. Like, and I don't believe that it was some accident that the cake just happened to be in the small corner, No, like, you wanted people to see the cake. You thought it was funny, It's just really, really obvious that is how it was. Oh boy, I better get a different brush. So after that, I started to kind of like look into reviews about Too Faced and things like that. And I mean, Jared is no stranger to controversy, because he can't keep his mouth shut. It just seems like if you are living your best life and, flexing online and stuff, maybe you shouldn't be so concerned about what other brands are doing. And the only reason why he likely is because other brands are flourishing. And I think, I don't know the how much money Too Faced made like in 2017, but you always will have those like 15-year-old girls that will gravitate towards that makeup, and that's fine. That's like who it's for. But they never got creative for adults. They never matured, It's just this crap. Ugh. So, what did you guys think about this cake? What did you think about his reaction? I'm serious. Like, I really think that there's like no way that he didn't know that he was going to get shit for that cake. I'm sorry. And the fact that he's so like, he's just so how do I word it? Like, so detached from like the world. Like, what would he know about any kind of problems? You know what I mean? And it's not, I feel like he knew it was going to get attention, and nobody's talking about his brand, so might as well talk about him, right? That's how I feel about it anyway. I'm dragging some of this purple down. This is not as good as my last one was. But I tried. So I am not a fan of Too Faced. I am not a fan of Jared. I am not a fan of his sister. I think she needs to keep her mouth shut at times, because things aren't about her. And if Jared's going to get into some shit, let him deal with it himself. That's kind of how I feel about it. I'm taking cherry soda underneath as well. Huh. I like these shades a lot. I don't think I used like the reds in here really. So very, very colorful. I'm going to try to blend this out a little bit more. I can probably clean this up with a little bit like a makeup remover wipe or something, just to make it not so messy on the ends. So what do you guys think? Do you think he knew about this on purpose? What do you think of him? Were you a fan? Like, do you follow him on Instagram and you think his flexing and his total ignorance to like reality is cute? I don't really get it. Excuse me. I think that that just shows how insecure he is. And when Jeffree and Tati like denounced, you know, using like Too Faced cosmetics, we ended up finding out within that Nikki Tutorials, she had her Power of Makeup palette with Too Faced, got royally screwed as far as money is concerned when it came to that collaboration. And a lot of people were like upset and felt like so bad for her. Yeah, I don't think Jeffree should have been the one to say it, but then we knew, okay, they're also a shady brand. Because at that time, Nikki was probably like just super happy to do a collaboration with anybody. I mean, that would be really exciting, not knowing her worth and them knowing her worth and lowballing her like that. I mean, that's the thing. It's shady. It's just so shady. And like I said, I think the quality has gone down a lot. I'm using the e.l.f. Moonlit Pearls just to give it a little bit of a shine. I like this. It's just like really subtle. So, I mean, and I don't blame them. I don't, you know, we found out later on, you know, like why Tati was, going to stop using them, and like Jeffree let out a little bit about it in that video about like brands that hate him, you know. But I just don't, it's hard for me. It's like whenever I watch like Conan or interviews, like even on like YouTube, like if it's an actor or an actress, oh, and especially if it's like a vocalist for like a death metal band or something, I don't want to read the interviews and I don't want to see them talk, because most of the time I listen to them and they're like so pretentious and just so, you know, far from reality that it just makes me hate them, and then I can't enjoy their movies or music or TV shows. I don't know if I'm the only one that's like that out there, but I hate that. And that's how I feel with some brands. But the fact that I'm spending money on these brands, I want to know. Like, I want to know about the company. I want to know about things like this. And I just feel like that this was on purpose. I feel like he wanted the attention. I'm going into the Smashbox contour palette. I think he knows nobody's talking about his makeup. Nobody really cares. And when we do see reviews, they're really not all that good, you know. And I just think that that says a lot about the company. And especially with him being like a creative director, like, be creative. It's like he walks into a store that has like Paw Patrol and Lisa Frank stuff, and he's like, that's a palette. There you go. No, come on. No, 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 no. So I do believe that this was on purpose. I don't think that his apology was sincere, because it blamed a lot of people. It couldn't just be like, I'm really sorry, it was in poor taste. He had to act like it was a mistake that it was in the picture, which is ridiculous. And so he can't own his shit. I'm sorry. And his face freaks me the fuck out. Like, I'm sorry. I don't usually talk about people's looks on here because I don't care. But like that smile in that picture, oh my God. Nightmares are made of this, you know? So I have two different lipsticks I might go with. I don't know that I've really tried this pink one. I remember tweeting about it, like, I have to get this. It's from Wet n Wild, and it's called Pink Your Poison. Or we have Problematic from Jeffree Star. Let's use Problematic. I'm trying to get better at liquid lipstick. I like this color. This is the look. A little messy, but I'll clean it up a bit before I actually like do anything. I'm going to finish it off with the Peach Slay All Day from JERROD Cosmetics. It is my favorite. And I'm going to put this stuff back in this box so it's easier to carry upstairs. So that's my feelings. I think that Jared is too self-absorbed to really get why this cake really made a lot of people upset. I think that his apology was a bunch of crap, and I think his brand is boring and old and just, I don't know, just tired. It's meant for, like, you know, I think we used to use that stuff like in cheerleading in like 5th grade or something. Like, oh, this hair, guys, I've got to get this hair chopped off and colored. Oh, I had just gotten out of the shower before I filmed this. I apologize. Maybe I'll just have to put it up again. So anyway, I feel he's super narcissistic. I don't think that the brand is evolving, that the brand is really going anywhere, especially for us, you know, especially for people in their early 30s or late 20s that used to love that brand, you know, back in the day. There's just nothing that it's offering us. And I feel like he is just kind of a jerk. You know, I think he's kind of a dick. That's how I feel about him. I don't think he's sorry about the cake. I think he wanted the attention, and his apology sucked. Because when you're sorry, how hard is it to just say, I'm sorry? Maybe you want to explain where you were coming from and, like, your headspace at the time. But you don't have to go on and on and on and on and on about how it wasn't your fault, you know? So I find him to be a little bit creepy. I am not a fan. So I want to know how you guys feel. Did you think the cake was a big deal? What about his other behaviors, you know, in the past? Just let me know how you guys feel about it down below. Thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing if you do. Follow me on Twitter if you want to. And I'll see you guys next video. Love and hugs. Bye.